We are making one of my favorite vegetarian recipes, crock pot lentil soup. This recipe is easy to throw together in your crock pot and it's packed with tons of flavor. Hi, my name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my new kitchen, guys. This is the first video I filmed. I just moved. This is my new kitchen. I'm not in my sister's kitchen today, but welcome. I'm glad you guys can join us. Please forgive me as I'm trying to figure out the best angles and everything for videos, but we will get that going. So today I'm going to show you how to make crock pot lentil soup. If you've never cooked with lentils before, they are super easy to cook with, especially in the crock pot, and I think you guys are going to love it. As always, I've linked this recipe in the description below. Also, let's talk crock pots. Today I am using the beautiful line from Walmart multi-cooker. This is that line from Drew Barrymore that's awesome. This is a great affordable product. I'm going to link that in the description below, as well as our other favorite crock pots that we're using right now. Also, one more thing, we have a Crock-Pot digital cookbook that we are offering at a big discount linked in the description below. So if you love crock-pot cooking as much as Carrie and I do, don't forget to check it out. All right, friends, let's get cooking. So for today's recipe, I'm using 16 ounces brown lentils. You can get this with like the other beans at your grocery store. You can use brown or green for this recipe. Either one of them will work great. I do like to rinse them before adding them to the crock pot. Now there are red lentils. I don't love using this in the crock pot in the soup because they break down and they kind of turn a little bit more mushy. So just don't use the red. Brown and green work great. I'm going to go ahead and give these a rinse first in my strainer. Make sure you check your strainer that the lentils don't just fall through, because lentils are small. So if your strainer has big draining holes, they could go through. Mine is good. Oh, I got one little debris that came out, but I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to head to my my sink, give these a good rinse, and then we will get them added to this multi-cooker. So they're fully rinsed. I'm just going to dump this right into the crock pot. So for this soup, I do recommend a 6 to 8 quart crock pot, just so all the ingredients fit in. A lot of times in our soups, it's a little bit more of ingredients, so it's a little fuller. So we can't really get away with a smaller crock pot on this one, but most of them are 6 to 8 nowadays. And any crock pot, of course, will work. I'm using a multi-cooker, which means it has other features. But if you just have a traditional ceramic crock pot, that's going to work great. Now we're going to add in some veggies. Can't have a good soup without veggies, right? For this recipe, we add carrots, celery, and diced onions. I'm going to go ahead and get these diced up. I need a chopper like Carrie has. If you guys have been watching us for a while, you've probably already seen it. I'm going to go ahead and link it in the description so that you can buy it, as well as I should, today. I'm going to get it today. Because it saves a lot of time cutting these veggies. If you don't have a chopper, just get a good knife. One knife is all you need to be able to cook in your kitchen. This one is great. I'm going to link it in the description below for you guys because it is a little higher price point, but I've had mine for over 10 years and it's working awesome. So I'm going to get these nice veggies added to the crock pot. Try not to cut myself on a video. So when I'm doing a soup on my veggies, I kind of look over them and make sure they're not too big. And if I see any big pieces, I'll just cut them down. That's just my personal preference, but you do you. Now we're going to add some celery. Same thing on this. You want to chop it small enough to go in a soup. Think about the size it needs to be on a soup spoon. So when I'm doing celery like this, I just cut off the white end pieces. And then I'm going to cut the celery down lengthwise by thirds because I want them smaller. If this was for something that wasn't a soup, like a stew or something else, I might just do in half. But since this is for a soup, I'm going to do by thirds. So you get like 3 celery sticks. And then we're going to just chop down the sides until they're nice bite-sized pieces. So we're going to get these all chopped up and then added right to that crock pot. I'm just working on that second celery stalk now. And we're going to just get that added right to the crock pot. And then last, but of course not least, an onion. Can't have soup without onions, right? So for this recipe, we do require 1 onion, dice. So to dice an onion, I recommend a white or a yellow onion because it has a little bit more of a mild flavor. The red onion is going to be pretty sweet and strong, so don't do that. So cut off both ends, and then we're going to peel off this outer layer. Let's see if I can do this without crying, guys. Nothing like crying on a YouTube video. So just peel those out, and then we're going to cut it in half and then lay each half on your cutting board. So the best way to dice an onion, if you don't have that cool chopper thing yet like Carrie has, guys, is you want to slice it here, but don't go all the way through so it holds it together on this end, and then we're going to slice it the other way. So I'm going to try to show this where you guys can see it. Hold it together with your hands and then slice, but you want to see where you leave it still connected at the end. I got the little bulb out, but that's okay. I'll slide them back in. And you just want to slice it down that way so that it stays together when you're slicing it the opposite way. And I just hold it together with my hands and slice it down. I accidentally went all the way through on that one, but that's okay. We're going to make this work. And then on this side, you want to cut with the circle of the onion. So the circles kind of looks like a rainbow. You want to kind of go with the movement of the onion to get it all the way through. If you just cut it straight down, you're going to have pieces that are all different sizes and very wonky. So you want to move your knife with the movement of the onion. And that's how you easily chop up an onion. All right, we got the onions all diced, and get those added to your crock pot as well. Then we're going to add some tomatoes. For this recipe, I like using fire roasted diced tomatoes. You need 1 can that's approximately 15 ounces, and that works great. Now, if you don't love the fire roasted ones, you can use the regular. That'll be fine. You could also use crushed tomatoes if you have people in your household that are sensitive to whole tomatoes in their soup. But for this recipe, I'm loving the fire roasted one. So if you haven't tried it yet, I really want to encourage you to give those a try. Now, all we have left is the seasonings. So it's very basic, simple seasonings because we're going to get a lot of the flavors from the tomatoes. So for this recipe, we need a teaspoon of minced garlic. I like to do a heaping teaspoon because I love garlic and it's awesome. Now, we love using the pre-jar minced garlic. It's a great time-saving tip without sacrificing flavor. If you just have a passion for mincing your own garlic, go for it. Come over and mince mine. That would be great. And now we're going to do a teaspoon of salt and pepper just to add flavor as well. I have these little new containers, which I do like because they fit perfectly, but I don't love the little toppers. So I'm going to get that open. And this is just a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. I'm using a half a teaspoon here. We will get that added. Let's get this pepper added. Kind of went overboard on that one, but it'll be great, I promise. Last but not least is we need to add some chicken broth. You can't have soup without chicken broth. Now, if you want this to be 100% vegetarian, you can use vegetable broth, and that's going to work awesome. We do use 6 cups chicken broth in this recipe. You get a 32-ounce container. I believe it's 32 ounces, yes. This is 4 cups, so I'm going to dump in one of these, and then I'm going to add 2 cups as well. Now, if you are wanting to save some money, because the cost of broth can really add up, you can use 1 container and then 2 cups of water, and that will help save money. Or you can use water with bouillon cubes as well, and that will help save some money on that expense too. Adding it right on in. Those lentils will soak some of the liquid up, so it will look pretty soupy right now, but they're going to soak some up, so don't worry about it. Last thing to do is turn it on. Cover your crock pot with the lid, and then you can cook this on high or on low. So if you're putting it on in the morning and you want it for dinner, you can cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours, or you can cook it on high for half the time, 3 to 4 hours, and that'll work as well. So I want to show you guys this soup here. Let me get this turned on. All right, let me see. Okay. So it's hard to see on the video. We're going to get this turned on for high for 4 hours, and then I will see you in a couple of hours. Okay, it's been cooking for a few hours and it's looking great. Now, these lentils soak up the liquid. So when you're cooking it, watch it closely. And if it's soaking up too much of the liquid and getting too thick and you want it soupier, just add in a cup or two of water and that'll work great. So before, like 15-30 minutes before you're ready to eat dinner, we're gonna add in some chopped parsley and stir it into the crock pot. We don't wanna add it at the beginning because it will get cooked down and pretty much just disintegrate. So we are going to chop that up and get it added now. So you just need about a tablespoon chopped. I wouldn't worry about like measuring it out. Just grab a bunch of parsley, press it together and chop some off, and then chop it into smaller pieces from there. And then we're going to stir it in. Ooh, it smells amazing. I love fresh parsley. You could use Italian parsley for this if you prefer. It's completely up to you. Or you could probably use a little bit of dried parsley if you didn't want to mess with it. It's going to have a slightly different flavor, but I think it would still work if you're in a pinch. Once it's chopped up, just go ahead and stir it right into the soup and just let it cook for about 15 to 30 minutes just to kind of incorporate those flavors. Ooh, that looks amazing. Once that's cooked for a little bit, it is ready to serve and enjoy. Whew. Now, I was talking with my dad earlier because he loves lentil soup, and he was saying they actually like cilantro stirred in. So if you love cilantro, you could do that instead of parsley, and I think that would be amazing. So right before serving, maybe check the consistency. I like my lentil soup a little thicker, so I'm actually loving the way this turns out. But if you want it thinner, you can easily thin it down with more broth or water. Now, lentil soup is actually very filling. The lentils are very filling. So when you're serving it, you don't need a lot of sides. I usually do an easy side salad just for some more veggies, or you could do your favorite bread or crackers, and that'll be all. It's very hearty and filling soup, so you don't need a lot of sides. When storing the leftovers, just refrigerate it for up to 5 days, or you can freeze any leftover soups in a freezer bag for up to 3 months, and that'll be great as well. All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm getting hungry and I'm excited to enjoy some soup. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our easy, family-friendly recipes. And also, don't forget, check out that description. You can grab this recipe and all the links for everything I used to make it today. All right, friends, you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time in my new kitchen. Bye, friends.